if you are thinking of going to Costa Rica or anywhere in South Central America, this video might just help you out. So guys, welcome back to the channel. First video for 2026. Now I'm due to go away to Costa Rica this week for a photo tour, which I'm leading again, as I did last year. And when I did some videos when I was on the tour, I did 3 videos released, and you can see those in the link above. People really enjoyed the videos, but also there was lots of questions about saying, what do you pack? What do you take with you? Do you do this? Do you do that? Did you find this lens was too much? You know, how did you combat humidity and all these sorts of things. So I thought I'd do a video today just to let you know what I pack when I go to Costa Rica. Bearing in mind, I'm leading a tour there. I may take a little bit more than most, but just in case any of the clients as well need additional memory cards, batteries and things like that. So I do take quite a lot with me, but I still keep it as light as possible. Now, lens selection is a big one. How many bodies do I take? What sort of lenses do I take? What sort of reach do I need? So we'll go through all that as well. It's one of those things really that people don't always think about some of the items, some of the safety aspects, to look after your equipment, look after yourself. We'll touch on clothing as well, but we won't go into that too much. Due to most people know what they want to take when they look at the temperature ranges in the country they're operating in, the humidity and the heat and the coolness if you're up in the mountains and stuff like that. So we'll really briefly touch on that. This is mainly about bags, cameras, lenses, ancillary equipment, IT, backups and stuff like that. So if you are thinking of going to Costa Rica or anywhere in South Central America, this video might just help you out. So guys, one of the items you're going to really need is a decent backpack. Now I've got 2 different versions here. This is a PG Whitec 1Mo tactical backpack in the dark night camo. Done a review on this one recently. This is a 35 litre version. Really good bag, lots of pockets, great splash proof, got a rain cover to put on as well. Really comfortable, back opening. It's got a great system at the back, ideal for when you're trekking or walking moderate distances. Very comfortable, very lightweight. No internal frame on this one. Got a nice waist strap there, good shoulder straps, and all in all, lots of pockets as well, and fitting bits and bobs in there. A bag that you can take with you dependent on how much kit you have got as well. So this one, slightly smaller than this one, although they look pretty much the same. This one's slightly wider. So that's a really good option, but you need a good, robust, comfortable bag. So if you are trekking distances and you do get caught out in weather, it needs to be quite durable. This is my go-to main bag, which is the f-stop bag, and this is the Tierloper. Very hard wearing, quality system on it. Opening at the back as well. Good sturdy shoulder straps, good waist belt. Lots of pockets and bits and bobs on there. Areas you can strap stuff on with the gatekeeper straps here. A really robust bottom to it as well. This is my go-to trusty bag with an internal compartment unit in there, which you store all your kit. So this is a really good bag. Love it. And this came with me last year. I'm not sure which one I'm taking this year, but it will be either the PG Whitec 1Mo or the Tierloper f-stop bag. Ideal, and it's splash proof, got its own rain cover as well. So those are the bags, just roughly. Any bag will probably do, guys, you know, as long as it's pretty robust and it's comfortable. I've got lots of bags, but for Costa Rica, I'll take one of these bags. I've got larger bags as well, single-use lens bags, but these for me are absolutely fine. So one item I will never go anywhere without now is the Cotton Carrier G3 harness in camo. It is superb. It really is. You've got a locking system on there, a bayonet there, which you slide in, lock off, and then that stops your camera inadvertently jumping out. Very easy when you're walking around. If you're in jungles, on paths, in and out of vehicle, these are superb. I've got a binocular attachment there. I can also click another camera on the side, a small zoom, and the main outfit on the front. Cinch it down, nice and comfortable. It's got a little bag there as well, all-weather bag that you can put around a small outfit or just the lens body, or just the actual camera itself. Very good system, very comfortable, really good. They are superb, absolutely superb, and this came with me last year and it was pretty much permanently fitted to my back. Another thing as well, if you haven't got that sort of system, is you can use some camera straps. Now these are by Peak Designs. These are anchor links here which fit onto the strap parts of your camera. You've got a Optic strap there, neoprene if you want, and it's got the anchor points there that you lock in. These just sit on top, lock in, and there you go. I'll take this as a backup, but I'll unlikely use it. And there's another strap as well, and that's by Peak Designs. And that's also what I take with me as well, just in case I want to go without the harness system. But to be fair, that is always with me. Hands-free, on the go, amazing. I've got links to all of these products in the vlog description with discounts as well for each of these as well. So I'm an f-stop ambassador, and I'm also an ambassador for Cotton Carrier there as well, based here in Canada. So yeah, that's it for bags guys really. You can, if you're just taking one outfit, you can have a single little Zoom bag. You can have a small rucksack if you don't want to invest in a bag like this. You need to be comfortable, durable, and most of all, keep that gear protected from the weather and the environment. Okay, along with this as well, and we'll go into it a little bit more later, is you can put some silica gel packs in there just to keep that moisture down, because obviously it's a very humid country. January is about 60 to 70% humidity, so things get a little bit too damp. You've got those packs in there that'll absorb some of that moisture as well. But I keep silica gel packs in these bags at all times, even when they're fitted at home in the cupboard. But that's it for bags guys, pretty much it. So I'll be taking either the f-stop or the PG Whitec 1MO Tactical with me this time on my trip. So guys, when you're in Costa Rica, there is wildlife everywhere. The bird life is absolutely insanely good, and you will take a lot of images. So with a lot of images, as much as you can get some very big capacity memory cards these days, you're going to need some form of backup. So I take with me my slightly aging now MacBook Pro, and I don't save it to the internal hard drive on here because it's only half a terabyte, so it's not very big, but I need it to facilitate the download, and also I do some editing and stuff when I'm away, so that goes with me. So any sort of PC, laptop, or any MacBook or any other form of storage device that you have, a photo downloader if you have one. With that as well, here I've got a NVMe 4 terabyte drive, which will be my main backup. All my photos daily, any vlogging I do, and all my video will all go on here. And with that as well, I've got a further backup as well for this one. It's always good to have two backups. The last thing you want to do when you're away on a trip like that of a lifetime, and you spend all that money and you take pictures of all those beautiful birds and mammals, and you suddenly have a fatal error on your hard drive and you've got no backup. It's always good to have two. And sometimes I even do three. If I take an awful lot more memory cards, and we'll go on to those in a minute, I can also download some of the stuff to memory cards as an additional backup, but you definitely need those. And with those as well, you need obviously cables. These are Thunderbolt 4 cables to the actual MacBook as well. And with that, you also need a SD, compact flash type A or B downloader. So you plug your memory card into there and download it to your devices. Now I always take two of these in case one of them goes down. I don't want to be scrabbling around in the middle of nowhere trying to get an Amazon order for a new memory card reader. So I always take two with me. It's always having a backup, guys, really, in case you do lose any of that precious footage and those precious memories of your trip, whether it be birds, mammals, pictures of your family or whatever, landscapes, you name it. You really need to have a good backup. Talking of backups as well, when you're in the field, battery chargers. So here I've got my larger charger for my Canon R3. This is a aftermarket charger for my Canon R7 and other types of 5D bodies that I have. It's a USB one, just plugs in. I can plug it into there and plug on the go, and yeah, it just keeps things charging. Obviously with the associated leads there. Also, this is a North American plug point there. I also take an adapter for my MacBook Pro, which has got a 3-pin UK plug on it. So I take a converter there as well, which I've got USBs on as well, so I can do multiple charging from one outlet. So always good to take plenty of those as well. Here I've got, this is a device by Lano, and this is a battery charger for on the go. It registers 100% at the moment. It's got a little lid at the top there. You just flip that up, you put your 2 batteries in there, you lock it down, and it charges on the go. This will do about 3 charges for 2 batteries, and then it's got an internal battery on there. You can always plug your phone in there as well and charge your phone up whilst you're on the go. This is a really good device, and this is good if you're detached and you're away and you're shooting a lot, because bearing in mind, with mirrorless cameras these days, they are battery zappers, so it's really good to have a backup and keep things charging. Yeah, really good device, and you're not hunting around trying to find somewhere you can plug in your charger. It's really, really good, and this goes with me when I'm away, detached, camping in the field or whatever. Really good device. If you're a vlogger or you want to do any stuff just for memory of your family trip, this is my DJI vlogging cam, and then associated mics with it as well. Memory cards, hugely important. This is stacked in with my SD cards. I've got varying SD cards there, and you can never have too many memory cards. It's a very small pack there. It's sealed around the edge, and it's weatherproof, crush-proof, ideal. And that's for the SD cards, and micro SD for the vlogging cams and stuff. This one here, this one is CF Express Type B. I've already got them fitted to my cameras I'm taking, but these are spares. 2 256s, 2 512s, and in fact another 512 at the bottom. So big capacity cards, and you can never have too many with you. So absolutely essential that you have backups when you're shooting as well. And if you're shooting high-end video as well at 4K, 6K, 8K, whatever, they really do chew up the cards. So you don't want to be caught short having to go through your camera and start deleting images and video and going through it and missing the shots. So it's good to have so many memory cards. You fill one up, you stick it in here, you turn it down on that side so you know that one's due to be downloaded. So you just flip one of those up there, turn it over there, job done. Used, fresh, ideal. Okay, so that's some of the kit there as well. And what I also take, forever learning with the amount of birds in Costa Rica, there's absolutely hundreds of birds. So I always take my book, and I also take a guide on Costa Rica as well, with lots of little areas that I've marked in there as well. This is great when I'm transiting as well. I've also got a map there as well. Lots of ID guides in here. Hummingbirds are very extensive, as are a lot of the other bird species. So it's really, really good to have a bird book there for me. You can have the download on your app, on your phone. You can scroll through, you can search, use Merlin and stuff with the audio, all that sort of stuff. But I like the old trusty book. So when I'm on the coach and with the clients as well, and we have a quiet moment, I'm always looking down, just brushing up on my knowledge or the next location, what other birds we might see, and calls and other things like that. So yeah, love a bird book, me. So that's some of the things you'll need there. Some very, very important things. Always remember, have your photos and videos and your precious memories backed up on hard drives, and not just one, but on 2 as well. So next thing is tripods and monopods. Now they aren't a requirement for everybody. If you're doing video, they are vitally important. This is my Jitso Series 2 Traveller tripod with a little plate at the top, Arca Swiss, a little ball head on top fixed in. Now this one will probably go with me, and I can mount the lenses that I'm taking on this comfortably. It's in 3 sections. It's a good little tripod, a nice little ball head, and that's all I'll take. Okay, on this side here we've got a Jitso Series 4 with a Wimberley gimbal head with the Arca Swiss plate on it. This one here is too heavy, too much to take with me. This, as a guide as well, I won't be taking as many images and doing as much as the clients. So this head is far too big, far too cumbersome to take. So this one will stay behind, and I'll take the smaller version there. Saying that as well, I mean, that will be used most of the time, but if you're doing boat tours and things like that, you may want to use a monopod. It's a lot easier when you're using a monopod on a boat. You have got less stability than a tripod, but you've got much more maneuverability. You've got seating, it's moving around, people. These are quite cumbersome, trying to get your legs out and get them locked in, and you're all over the place and something comes over the back of the boat. You've had to pick your tripod up and run to the back and you're banging your legs everywhere. It's a nightmare. So monopods are probably a lot better in that regard. You could almost just use this like that with the legs locked in and use it as kind of a monopod if you wanted to. You've still got to pan your lens around as you need it. But I haven't got a monopod here in Canada. I've got a monopod at home. I didn't bring it with me, and I'll take this one with me if I'm doing any video work, if I get any time when it allows. But monopods are very, very good. Also using on short tracks and trails, these are quite restrictive. If you've got a very narrow through the jungle and you're using one of these, it can be quite cumbersome, where a monopod really does work very, very well. But if you're doing video, or you're doing some pre-set up stuff with remote releases, flight shots coming in, etc. These are a great aid, and it gives your arms a little bit of a rest as well, because let's face it, holding a camera for prolonged periods does get quite tiring. But that's pretty much it on tripods. And tripod heads, I would pretty much go for a ball head. Nice and easy, nice and lightweight, ideal. And stick that in your main hold, and that should see you through the trip. So guys, now we're getting to the nitty gritty of the outfit that I'm taking with me. Bearing in mind, I'm going as a tour leader as well when I'm going. So although I'm taking a varied amount of lenses there, the primary focus is the clients when I'm away. But I have ample opportunity when I'm there to get some shots in, and I like to have a good lens selection with me. I'd rather bring it if I've got the space than leave it at home and wish I bought it. So we'll go through from the bottom to the top. So here we have, this is a Canon 16-35 IS, great lens for landscapes and a few other purposes as well, but primarily for me, landscape. A good zoom range from 16 to 35 at f4 with IS if I want to do any handheld stuff as well. But a great lens. Obviously I've got all the associated lens hoods with them. You really do need to take those to keep any sort of moisture, any grit, dust out of your lens element, and obviously reduces flare as well caused by the heat. Bear in mind it's a hot country, it's very, very warm, and you want to stop the glare coming in the side. Yeah, always remember to take your lens hoods as well. This one here is a beautiful little lens. This is my RF 70-200 f4, very small zoom, very lightweight, very, very good on a crop body as well as on a full frame as well. Also good for landscapes and good for close-up stuff as well. Really, really fast, lovely IS, great lens. And that is becoming one of my new favorites now. I'm not taking this with me, but this is a consideration for people as well who are going. Costa Rica is an amazing place for insects, butterflies, and obviously the flowers as well there are fantastic. This is a EF 100mm macro f2.8 IS, brilliant for close-up work if time allows. I'm leading a bird photography tour, although there will be opportunities to do macro work. When we're moving around, it's not restricted to just bird photography. So if people do feel they need to bring the macro, and clients have in the past, I've bought a macro lens, it's a very good idea if you can fit it in. It's a nice to have, but I'll probably not take this with me unless I got a little spare slot in my bag. But this is a cracking lens and it's a good to have. And you can do some landscape stuff with it as well. Some tight-in stuff, wildlife and environment and stuff like that. Good in low light as well. So the main lens for me, and the great zoom range for this, is the Canon 100-500, and this is the RF. This for me is my go-to lens, having the flexibility of 100mm to 500mm on a full frame, and then the added crop with a crop body, whether that be 1.3, 1.5 or 1.6, whatever manufacturer you have. For me, this is great. It's f7.1 at the top end, but my R3 in low light is fantastic. I never find that this is restricting me at all, really, to be honest. It's lightweight, it fits to my harness at the front, it's not too big, it's very fast in the IS, very good on the AF. It's a great all-round lens, and I've taken some magical shots with this. This really is. I mean, if I had to take one lens with me, it would absolutely be this. That's all I need. The risk of going to places in South America, Central America, Costa Rica, for example, is a lot of the bird species are quite habituated. People go to a lot of bird feeding stations for hummingbirds, for small tanagers and other type of finches and buntings and things like that. They are at quite close range. If you take a fixed focal length with you, you are restricted. If you start to hit sort of 500, 600, 800 mil primes, they are really a waste of time, to be honest, I think personally. It depends on what type of photography you're doing. If you're off trekking and you're doing some monitoring work, or you're doing from hides at distance to subject, maybe they'll come into their own. But bearing in mind, it's a big, heavy lens. You've got to trek around with it. Even though the lenses these days are a lot lighter, I honestly think that something like this, yes, some of the primes, f2.8, f4, a lot better than f7.1, but for me, I'm absolutely comfortable with this lens. It is a great lens, and it really does go with me everywhere, and is my main lens here at home in Canada and in the UK as well. So just bear that in mind. It's nice to take your big prime. I would say, and we'll move on to this one here, this is my 300 fixed prime f2.8. So amazingly good in low light, very, very fast, sharp at f2.8, and also sharp as you go up. So usually with lenses like this, shooting wide open at f2.8, there's a little bit of softness on the outer edge, but with this one, it's sharp corner to corner, and as soon as you go up the range, it's just even better. It's a great lens, and because it's 300mm as well, it's not crazy focal length, so you can move back a little bit forward. You're not restricted. If it was like a 500-600, you have to step back. With this one as well, bearing in mind, if you do get subjects coming in, you can frame where you want to be for your subjects coming in at a pre-positioned spot if you're at a feeder or something like that. This is an absolutely great lens and amazingly good in low light. As soon as that light drops, you're in jungle canopy, you're shooting higher ISOs. Bearing in mind, cameras these days can shoot high ISO quite comfortably, and even with noise reduction, the images still come out okay. To have f2.8 when your low light is failing, this is an absolute dream to use. So really, really good. And as I said, in tandem with that, if I want to, I can just drop in a 1.4 tele on top of that to give me a little bit more reach as well if I need it. But to be perfectly honest, that's just going just in case. I'll probably just use that straight through native without the tele, but it's there and it's small and it's nice to have as well. I've got lens protection covers on all my lenses. That's just standard for me, except the smaller ones. That's just from knocks, bangs, abrasions, and when I'm in cold Canada, cold hands on the lens barrels, and just reduces that as well. So cameras I'm taking, the main body will be the Canon R3, full frame, great camera, amazing speed. It's just an absolute dream to use. I love it. This is like my third hand. It's just amazing. It's armoured here in this protective cover by Easy Cover, as is the R7. This is great. It's a superb camera, so fast, so reliable, brilliant in low light. Yeah, it's a dream, and that is my go-to camera. It really is. It's always good to have a backup if you're away and your main camera goes down for whatever reason, which is highly unlikely. You've got no camera. Not good. You have to rush out and buy one or get it fixed. You're losing days, hours, whatever. So it's always good to have a backup. So the R7 here is great because I can just drop that on top of there, and that becomes a 300, becomes a 480. And even more with the 100 to 500. Not so good in low light because it's a crop sensor, but it's still good, nice to have, does good video, good files at low ISO, really, really good. So, and if you are doubling up on the R3, then I need the control ring mount adapter so I can use EF glass onto our bodies. But that's it for the lenses really. Just make lens selection your priority really. Make sure you got the right stuff with you and don't over egg it. You're sort of lugging your 800, 600 with you. A few situations, yes, it works, but majority of the time, 95% of the time, you're going to be using something of smaller focal length. So other manufacturers, Sigma, Nikon, if you've got something like 100 to 600, a great zoom range to use there. That'll get you out of most situations without any issue whatsoever. And also with that, batteries, highly important, self-explanatory. I've got 4 batteries there for the R7, and I've got 2 batteries here for the R3, but I'll also take an additional one as well. So I've got 3, always good to go. So these are covers, cases for the cameras. They'll also go as well. Majorly good for me as a guide, using binoculars. It doesn't have to be everybody's cup of tea really, but these lock onto my harness. I'm always scouting and looking for birds, for movement, for mammals. Always looking, and these for me are essential for my work when I'm away guiding and stuff like that. But yeah, these are superb. These are Leica, really, really nice binoculars, 8x42 HDs, Trinovids. They are really, really good. Associated covers and cases for lenses, if you've got them, wrap them up if you want to. I use a bit of scrim netting just to pad my bag out a bit. And also, vitally important is camera covers. This is for a lens, and this will house this and this quite comfortably. A bit overkill for this one. I don't mind my lenses getting a little bit damp, but in downpours, it's good to have a lens cover. If you're in a pinch, plastic bag, whatever you can use. Plastic bags do make noise, can startle birds and mammals, but for me, I'll always take this as well. But there are other makeshift things you can do, the cheaper versions. These are by Lenscoat. And that is pretty much it for lens and camera selection. Last year I took a EF 200 to 400 1.4 telly built in to give me the range from 200 up to 560 with the telly engaged. And I used it a few times, but it was just a bit limiting, to be honest. And it's quite a weight, and this is lighter. And one of my colleagues who I work with, JP, he uses his 300. He has the Mark II version on the R7, and that's all the reach he needs. And yeah, so it works well for him. So this year I'll be taking that with me as one of my mains, but most of the time I'll be using the 100 to 500. So that really is it for cameras and lenses. If you've got any questions or anything you feel that I've missed, please leave it in the vlog description below. I'm going to go through now some last minute things, a little bit on clothing, a little bit on some extra stuff you may not think about, which could help you when you're on your trip. So last but not least, a few items that you may not necessarily think about, but you may also think about. It's just what I would additionally take with me. Clothing wise, to be honest, you've got to cater for the temperature ranges. So in Costa Rica in January, as I set up in the mountains, at higher elevations at night, it's pretty cold. Last year it got down to about 6 degrees. And that's pretty chilly when you've been in 25-degree heat. For me here in Canada, today is minus 22. It's really, really cold. So just bearing in mind when you're going away, it's not just shorts and a very short t-shirt. It's, you know, trousers, thin trousers for lower elevations, thicker trousers for higher elevations. Looking at the layer principle, so a base layer underneath, a jumper, a jacket. Also rain can be an issue as well. It can be quite wet, humid, going through rainforests. You want some protection there, a nice rain jacket, etc. Something very lightweight and not too insulated as well, so you don't get too hot and sweaty, but just bear that in mind. Hats and caps, really good idea, just keep the glare of the sun off. Also a nice rounded hat there, my trusty Falraven one, which will go with me as well, just to keep it off and keep that sweat down as well. Really good bits of kit to have, and good for the old photography as well. Can be a little bit awkward when your lens is banging against your cap a bit. You could just lift it up a little bit and shoot from there, but it's nice to keep that glare and that heat off your face. So another thing as well, guys, to keep your lenses in tip-top condition and your camera bodies, is essential really to take a cleaning set with you. So in there I've got a blower brush, which is great. I've got some Selvit cloths. I've got some pec pads there, which are lint-free pec pads there for cleaning the lenses. I've got lens cleaning solution there, some lens cleaner. Make sure that it's not got anything degrading that's going to take any of the layers off your front end lens element. Most of my lenses, bar the prime, is fitted with lens filter protectors, whether that's circular polarizer, whether that's just a lens protector, UV filter, whatever. I always have lens cleaning fluid with me. I try not to clean my lenses all the time. I don't want to introduce any scratches, even if it's on the front lens protectors, because they're high grade lens protectors. Some of these are like £200. They're very expensive. Good quality glass by B&W or another similar manufacturer. But I do blow the lenses off and the bodies every day after use as well. Also in there I've got a little brush, so once I've blown it off, I can just, any stub and grit that's around the edge, just loosen it off with that, blow it again. Once I've done that, check it, but make sure you hold the lens up underneath, and then you blow it from there and everything falls off, and then give them a bit of a clean with that as well. So this is kind of an ideal bit of kit really to take with you. Essential, but if the lens don't get dirty, then I don't clean them. It's there if I do. I don't want to be using my jumper, which could be scratchy and stuff. Got grit or anything else on there, but that's just nice and small. You can sort of squash that down and then stick that in your bag. So yeah, ideal. First aid kit, not always essential. If you've in a large group, or you've got a guide, because they'll carry first aid. But if you want to take a smaller version, a first aid with you. And remember, things like insect repellents, sunscreen, all vitally important. So there's a lot of bugs there. Thankfully, so far, I haven't been bitten by anything. They don't seem to like my skin. So I get away with it quite well, and my skin's pretty good in the sun, but I still apply sunscreen, as you should always do. So it's good to take, but that goes with me as well. Headlight, which is vitally important if you're out for a late night shoot, if you're doing some bat photography, if you're doing a bit of a jungle walk, it's always good to have, or even if you're walking to and fro the restaurant to your log cabin or lodge or whatever, always very good to have with you. Locks as well for your camera bags and for your main luggage. I've bought these online, very cheap, but they're pretty robust, got a wire all the way around protected, really good to have as well. Last but not least, hydration, vitally important. Always stay maintained with your hydration. A nice big canister there. You're walking, you're in a hot environment, you're sweating a lot, you're losing those vital minerals as well, so it's just good to keep yourself topped up with that as well. But that is pretty much it regarding all the equipment I take with me. Seems quite a lot, but actually when you pack it all down, it's not really. Once you pack it carefully in your bag, it all goes together quite nicely. But for me, really, just remember, with lens selection, try not to take everything in the kitchen sink. Just be selective on what you take. Just bearing in mind, whatever you take, you have to carry, or you leave it behind in your room. Security and safety isn't really too much of an issue in Costa Rica. It's a pretty great country for that, and we, haven't had any issues in the past with any of that. But I don't think I've missed anything out. At least I hope not. But one thing I will say on the final note is the humidity, and I did touch on it briefly earlier, is the humidity levels is 60 to 70%. So it is quite moisture retentive. So you've just got to be aware that moisture will be attracted to your bag, to your camera lenses, taking them from a very warm environment to a cold environment. If your room has aircon, you take your bag in there, you stick your bag in the corner, your lenses are warm and it's cold, condensation will start to build up on fogging in the lenses, the internal parts of your optics and inside the camera body. You go out and shoot, you look through the viewfinder and you can't see because it's all foggy, because it's wet inside. Just take some silica gel packs with you, introduce it slowly back into a cold environment, maybe not turn your aircon too cold when you come back to your room. Just introduce it gradually. You can put your lenses and cameras into bags and stuff and move them from a warm to a cold environment. Just be aware, I've got a rugged dry cabinet for all my equipment, but I can't obviously take that with me. You can buy some mini sort of humidifiers if you like off Amazon as well. I'll put the links below that you can put into your camera bag. But for me, I just use the silica gel packs, stuff you get with shoes and handbags and bags and all sorts of stuff. Just bear that in mind though, that you just got to be careful with your equipment. If you're only away for a couple of weeks, you should be all right. When you get back, just make sure that you keep on top of it. You check your equipment when you're bringing them from warm to cold, cold to warm environments, just to make sure that you limit that build up. Because ultimately, if you get a lot of moisture inside there and you leave it over time, put your bag in a cupboard and leave it for a month, you can build up fungal growth in there, which can really destroy your lens. And if to get it fixed, it costs an absolute fortune to remove fungal growth. So just be very, very careful with that as well. But those silica gel packs should do you well whilst you're away. So I hope you enjoyed that video there. It's quite long, I guess, but it's nice to explain why I take what I do, just to highlight the importance really of looking after your equipment, making sure you've got the right lens selection. You don't want to get to a destination and you suddenly realise that you haven't bought your lens that you needed. But when you go with companies, they should really give you a list, like we do, with the minimum focal length you need for the photography situations that you're going to encounter when you're away on your holiday. But if you're not going with a company, just bearing in mind that a good zoom range between 100 and maybe max 600 is a good range to have, with maybe a macro and also good landscape to capture those beautiful scenes and get some panoramics and stuff like that as well, because it's such a beautiful country. And also remain safe with the insect repellent, with the also the sunscreen, hats, clothing. Just make sure you've got the right clothing for the right environment you're in. Most of the time you'll be in shorts, a nice pair of walking boots, nothing too sturdy because it's quite dry there. depending on what time of year you go. But obviously if you move to higher elevations as well, at night it does become very cold, and I actually take a jacket with me because last year, as I said, it got down to about 6 degrees and it was pretty chilly, and there's no heating in some of the little cabins as well. So, I hope you found that useful. If you do go to Costa Rica, if you do go to anywhere in sort of Central South America, have a fantastic time. It is an amazing country. The bird life, the animals, the people, sort of the vibrance of the bird species there is just insane. They're beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. So hopefully this video would have helped you out. So when you go to this destination for your dream holiday, you hopefully will have the right kit with you. But from me, thanks very much indeed for watching. Hopefully you'll stay tuned for when I get back from Costa Rica, because I hope to have a few videos out relatively soon when I get back, and hopefully you'll enjoy those too. But from me, thanks very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you all next time.